This video took a month to produce and totaled 24 minutes. Take you on an immersive journey around China. This is a national highway with a total length of 10,065 kilometers. This is the G33 Yao National Highway with a total length of 9,301 kilometers. This is the G228 National Highway with a total length of 7,800 kilometers. Together, the three national highways form the National Self-Driving Super Ring Road. It passes through 16 provincial level administrative regions across the country and hundreds of beautiful scenic spots. This video took 30 days to put together. Take you through this exaggerated 27,000 kilometers immersively from beginning to end. All the attractions on the top national self-driving route are not easy to make. Bookmark viewing. In China's vast land of 9.6 million square kilometers, there is no self-driving line. It is comparable to the border ring formed by these three national highways. From the southwestern rainforest to the snowy plateau rooftop, from the Gobi Desert in the northwest to the northern Xinjiang, the snow-capped mountains and grasslands, from the northeast forest, sea snowfield to the coastline. This 27,000 kilometer super ring line covers all the landforms in China, all seasons, all styles. After walking this circle, it is equivalent to traveling all over most of China. I have seen the ultimate mountains and rivers that Chinese people can encounter in their lives. 1. G219 National Highway, 10,000 kilometers of western border sky, from the southern sea to the snowy region of northern Xinjiang. As the world's highest altitude and the richest landscape, the border national highway with the most exaggerated span starts from Dongxing, Guangxi in the south, north to Kanas, Xinjiang, running through Guangxi, Yunnan, Tibet. Xinjiang as 4 provinces and regions span nearly 30 latitudes. The starting point of G219 is located in Dongxing. Guangxi is backed by 100,000 mountains and faces the waters of the Beibu Gulf. Across the river from Vietnam, it is the most gentle border crossing in the southwest of the motherland. The terrain here is low, the climate is mild, the sea breeze is gentle. Is the entire western border, the lowest and most comfortable starting point at the lowest altitude. There is no coldness of the plateau, no desolation of the Gobi, only the warmth and freshness unique to the southern coastal sea. It paved the most gentle prologue for this magnificent trip around the country. Starting from Dongxing, the vehicle drove into the continuous 100,000 mountains, the winding mountain road winds between the green forests and seas, and after 250 kilometers, arrived at the first Xiangguan in southern Xinjiang, Pingxiang Friendship Pass, known as Zhenanguan in ancient times. It ranks among the top 10 famous passes in China, standing for 1,000 years, guarding the southern gate of the motherland. The ancient gate tower stands majestically, witness the smoke of beacons, witnessed trade exchanges. Every brick and tile has a heavy historical heritage. It is the most representative cultural landmark in southern Xinjiang, China. Continue north on G219 for 140 kilometers. The Dichen Transnational Waterfall, hidden deep in the hinterland of the 100,000 mountains, suddenly opened up. This waterfall, which straddles China and Vietnam, is the largest transnational waterfall in Asia, the world's 4th largest waterfall, with an average annual water flow of more than 3 times that of Huangguoshu Waterfall. The river rushed and fell, and the mist filled the sky. Surrounded by green mountains, blue water gurgling, the beauty and majesty of the southern landscape are perfectly blended here. During the wet season, the scene is even more imposing and shocking. Farewell to the waterfall and head all the way west. The national highway slowly rises the terrain and officially steps into the majestic Yunnan Guizhou Plateau. Between the mountains, in the southern part of Alao Mountain, the layers of Yuanyang terraces spread for thousands of miles. This is the honey people who have been cultivating the mountains for generations. The art of the earth, created by thousands of years of hard work. Spring has sparkling mirrors, paddy fields. There are lush rice waves in summer, and there are golden waves in autumn. In winter, there is a mountain wonderland surrounded by clouds and mist. The 4 seasons are picturesque, and every step is a beautiful miracle of coexistence between man and nature. Continue for more than 400 kilometers and arrive at the charming Sishuangbana. It has the only tropical rainforest nature reserve in China. It is a rare warm secret place in China that does not have winter all year round. Towering ancient trees shade the sky and sun, and rainforest vines are intertwined. The bamboo building of the Dayai family is hidden in the forest, and the exotic style comes to the face. Here, you can immerse yourself in the pristine wildness of the rainforest. Experience the 1,000-year-old folk customs of the Dayai people. Taste the specialties of the southern country. Feel the gentleness and romance that belongs to the southwestern frontier. Continue along the national highway into the secret land of western Yunnan, passing through Jingdong, Western Alliance, and finally arrived at the Kenjuan Wending primitive tribe. As the last primitive wild village in China, the oldest war lifestyle and architectural style are completely preserved here. The ancient villages with thatched roofs are scattered among the mountains and forests, and the folk customs are simple. The years are quiet. There is no commercial hustle and bustle. There is only the purest primitive village atmosphere. It is like a paradise forgotten by time. Leaving Wangding ancient village, go all the way west for more than 300 kilometers. Arrive at the warm and livable Tancheng. This small city on the western border of Yunnan has a unique volcanic geothermal landform. 99 volcanoes are scattered. 88 hot springs are dotted. Atomic hot springs, misty and misty. Heshen ancient town is antique, and the Beihai wetland is surrounded by water and grass. Volcanic geopark, magnificent and majestic. Landscape, humanities. Geothermal resources are perfectly blended, which is a rare health secret place in southwest China. Since then, G219 has officially opened the northbound crossing mode. The vehicle drove into the world-famous Nujiang Grand Canyon, the longest, most primitive and mysterious Grand Canyon in the world, sandwiched between the two major mountain ranges of Galigong Mountain and Bailuo Snow Mountain. The New River rushes endlessly, running through the entire territory. The mountains on both sides are steep. The cliffs are lined up, the canyons are deep, and the scenery is wild. It is the most magnificent and shocking natural wonder in western Yunnan. Every journey can make people deeply feel the magic of nature. Proceed all the way along the Nujiang River Gorge to Bingchacha, the starting point of Bingchacha. This place is known as the place where man and God live together. Surrounded by mountains, 3 rivers flow together, villages, lying quietly by the river, clouds and mist. It is wrapped around the mountains, all year round, with morning light and smoke, and full of fairy energy. Away from the hustle and bustle of the city, the mountains and rivers are pure, and the folk customs are simple, which is the most healing and the quietest mountain secret place. Through Binzhanggluo, passing through the thrilling and spectacular large quicksand section, gravel cliffs, dangerous roads near the river, one of the most thrilling sections of the G219. After crossing the dangerous area, we officially stepped into the Tibetan border and arrived at Shavolong Township. At this point, the journey completely bids farewell to the warm southwest lowlands, officially entered the high-altitude, snowy area. Nujiang Canyon shows the most majestic and steep side here. The desolate and magnificent plateau scenery unfolds slowly. Continue to go deep into the Tibetan area. Continuously cross Xiangzhula. Yixiola is a high-altitude, snow-capped mountain pass of more than 4 kilometers. The altitude rose sharply, and then fell suddenly. In one day, cross the ice pass from the warm river valley. Real experience. A mountain has 4 seasons. 10 miles of magical landforms on different days. After 220 kilometers of extreme crossing, successfully arrived at Chayu County, the end of Bingchacha. The traversal journey of the most dangerous section of Yunnan and Tibet was officially completed. Since the Chamel Highway has not yet been fully connected, the journey took a detour to National Highway 318 to Bomi. The glacier communities along the way are endless. Lake Glacier, Renlongba Glacier, the rice pile glaciers are arranged in turn. The huge glacier is white and majestic, and the 1,000-year-old ice and snow stand quietly. It shines in the sunlight and constitutes the most shocking ice and snow picture in southeastern Tibet. Walk 170 kilometers and encounter the Pearl of Rongwu Lake in eastern Tibet. This free plateau dammed lake, backed by the majestic mountain Lake Glacier. The lake is clear and blue. The snow-capped mountains are reflected in the water, and the water and sky are the same, quiet and beautiful. The lake water is green and fresh in spring and summer, and the lake water is blue and transparent in autumn and winter. It is the most unmissable plateau secret place in eastern Tibet. Continue galloping along the Palongjiangbo River, passing through Bomi County. After more than 200 kilometers, arrived at Motuo, the last county in China with roads different from the public impression. The desolate Tibet. Motuo rained abundantly, lush vegetation, tropical rainforest, lush greenery, warm and humid, vibrant. It is the most gentle secret place in Tibet. It is known as the snowy south of the Yangtze River. From Metro to Paimol Highway, to the deepest on the earth, the longest and most spectacular Brahmaputra Grand Canyon. The canyon is thousands of meters deep, and the river is rushing and roaring. The snow-capped mountains on both sides of the river rise, and the forests and seas are vast. Suosong Village and Daling Village lie quietly along the canyon. It is an excellent observation deck overlooking Nangaobawa, the most beautiful snow-capped mountain in China. The sacred mountains are majestic. The canyon is magnificent. The sea of clouds is surging, and every frame is enough to shock people. Trace the source along the Brahmaputra River Valley and cross the remnants of the Himalayas. Passing through Longxi County, a high-altitude county in Shannon, you will encounter the fairyland like Nari Yongko. The lake water is as clear as a mirror, surrounded by snow-capped mountains. The blue sky and white clouds reflect the lake, pure and transparent. Unstained with dust, it is like a realm of the sky left on the plateau. Continue west along the Himalayan road. Encounter the majestic Kulagangri snow-capped mountain group. 6-7 kilometer level snow peaks stand side by side, stretching for hundreds of miles. The momentum is majestic. The snow-capped peaks pierce the clouds. It is the most spectacular snow-capped mountain cluster in the eastern Himalayas, which is extremely shocking. Not far from the snow-capped mountains is Pumo Yongko, the highest freshwater lake in Tibet. In summer, the blue waves are vast. The lake water is clear, and the scenery is not inferior to Namuko. In winter, the lake is completely frozen, and the blue ice is clear. The cracks are beautiful, as if you are in Lake Baikal, which is a unique dream secret place on the plateau. Head north and arrive at Yangzhuo Yanghuo, one of the 3 sacred lakes in Tibet. Yanghu winds and stretches for hundreds of miles. 21 small islands are scattered on the lake. Overlooking from above, the blue lake water is like a ribbon wrapped around the mountains. The unique Yanghubu heals people's hearts. Snow mountains, meadows, lakes, and blue skies are intertwined. It constitutes the most gentle and healing beautiful picture in Tibet. Drive 108 kilometers north, from Yanghu Lake to Lhasa, the holy city of snow. The Potala Palace stands majestically on the top of the Red Mountain, solemn for thousands of years, sacred and solemn. Zhoukang Temple is surrounded by incense, and believers are endless. Beikor Street was crowded with people and flags waving. The cultural and religious heritage of Tibet is displayed here. It is the belief in the hearts of countless people, Holy Land. From Lhasa to the west, into the boundary of the Japanese and Kazi territories, Gaura Pass is a world-class snow-capped mountain viewing platform. Standing here, you can see Mount Everest at a glance. At the same time, unlock 6 8-kilometer level snow peaks in the same frame. The best of the entire Himalayan range is gathered here, and it is magnificent. Continue along, G22 kilometers. Arrive at Pakuko, the largest lake in the Everest Reserve. The lake is quiet and far-reaching. Backed by the peak of Shishapangma, this is the only 8-kilometer snow-capped mountain completely located in China. IT corresponds to the clear lake water. The symbiosis of lakes and mountains, quiet and ethereal, shows the desolate poetry of Tibet, passing through Saga County to rest and resupply. This is the last prosperous town to go to the hinterland of Ali. It is also an important rest and recuperation station for self-driving on the plateau. Leaving Saga and officially stepping into the Ali region of Tibet, known as Tibet. More than 500 kilometers of unmanned travel, arriving at Kailash, the sacred mountain, Holy Lake Mapang, Yang TSO, and Ghost Lake Lang, TSO. Kailash is known as the center of the world, the king of the sacred mountains, snow all year round, holy and majestic. It is a place of faith for pilgrims around the world. Mapang Yangko, clear holy, is the most beautiful sacred lake in Tibet. Langko is quiet and desolate, one good and one evil. One soft and one rigid constitutes Alibaba's most unique scenery and artistic conception. A short detour of 280 kilometers arrived at the ruins of the Zeta Turin and Gage dynasties. Tens of millions of years of wind and rain erosion have carved out the soil and forest landforms, crisscrossed by ravines, layered and magnificent. The abandoned Gage dynasty in ruins stands quietly in the mountains. The once prosperous dynasty came to an end quietly. Among the remnants are the vicissitudes of time and the weight of history. Return to the G219 Xinzang, Tibet line and enter the hinterland of Ali, as highest altitude. This is the top of the roof of the Qinghai, Tibet Plateau, with an average altitude of more than 5 kilometers. It is the most desolate national highway, the most magnificent, the purest plateau, Pangongku, narrow and winding. Half of the lake is green, and half of the lake is clear. The national highway runs along the lake, accompanied by lakes and mountains, flocks of birds, and unique scenery. Continue to climb and climb over. More than 5,300 meters of laterite digging. Arrived at the plateau village of Sangxi village, and officially broke into the Changtang no man's land, the border area with the Kongleng mountains. Sangxi village to Dehong Liutan 250 kilometers. The whole process is no man's land, 100 miles of desolate and uninhabited wilderness. The whole journey is galloping on a 5-kilometer plateau. Deserted. The ultimate scenery is the ultimate secret place in the hearts of self-driving. Enthusiasts drive out of Dahonggliu Beach, entering the river valley, where the Kongleng Mountains and the Karakoram Mountains are intertwined. The mountains are exposed. Landform is rough, showing the desolation and magnificence of the northwest land. Passing through the 30-mile barracks, over the Black Kasida slope, Marzadaban, Kudidaban. Several high-altitude dangers are continuously arranged, which is the most dangerous of the Shin-Tibet line, the section of the road that tests your driving skills the most. The mountain road is winding and steep, and the terrain is steep. Every climb is the ultimate self-driving experience. Completely out of the Kongleng Mountains, the field of vision suddenly open, the vast Tarim Basin spreads. In front of you, arrive at the Shin-Tibet line, the starting point of Yecheng, all the way through Zep, Shash, Injisha and other small cities in southern Xinjiang, finally arrived at Kashgar, an ancient city of the 1,000-year-old Silk Road. The streets and alleys of the ancient city of Kashgar are crisscrossed, surrounded by fireworks. It is the only living 1,000-year-old ancient city in the western regions in China. It hides the purest fireworks and ancient charm of the Silk Road in southern Xinjiang. From Kashgar, it is more than 500 kilometers east along the Tarim Basin. Arrive at the oasis city of Aksu on Tianshan South Road. The water and soil here are abundant, and the products are abundant. AKCU apples are well known throughout the country, and are a rare warm oasis in southern Xinjiang. From Aksu to Ili through the Duku Highway, this landscape avenue that runs through the Tianshan Mountains connects the Danxia Cliffs. Winding mountain roads, alpine grasslands, snow-capped mountains and lakes, and forest and sea meadows are all connected one step at a time, 10 miles at a time, and enjoy the ultimate scenery of the north and south of the Tianshan Mountains. Drive into the middle of the Duku Highway, Bainbrook Prairie, lying quietly in the basin of the Tianshan Mountains, around surrounded by snow-capped mountains. The Kaidu River winds and twists. Cattle and sheep are everywhere, and the meadows are endless. At sunset, the glow fills the sky, which is extremely beautiful. Travel 160 kilometers to reach the sky. Grassland Nalati, located in Ili at the end of the river valley. The mountainside grassland is undulating. In summer, wildflowers fill the mountains, colorful like an oil painting, carefully painted by nature. It is known as the air grassland on earth. Continue to move forward, rush to Yaining. Go deep into the hinterland of the Ili River Valley. Thousands of miles of fertile land. The water and grass are abundant, and the melons and fruits are fragrant. Live up to the 1,000-year-old reputation of Jiangnian, outside the Great Wall. Finally, we arrived at Salimyu Lake in the hinterland of the Tianshan Mountains, where the lake water was clear and blue, vast and boundless, surrounded by snow-capped mountains and continuous pastures. It is known as the Atlantic Ocean, the last tier. Self-driving around the lake, every step is beautiful. The 4 seasons are beautiful. It is the most healing in northern Xinjiang, the most magnificent highland lake. Leaving Salimyu Hu, all the way north crossing the western edge of the Zhenghe Basin. Finally arrived at Kanas at the foot of the Altai Mountains. Successfully completed the 10,065-kilometer G219 journey. This road from the Sino-Vietnamese border to the Sino-Russian-Mongolian border, across the Beibu Gulf, through the Yunnan-Guizhou rainforest, through the Handuan Canyon, cross the Brahmaputra and break into the sky. Ali, crossing Kanglan, and Karakoram. Looking at the Tian Shan Ili, we finally settled down. Altai Mountains. We saw the western border of the motherland, from warm to magnificent. All the ultimate scenery, from the beautiful to the desolate. 2. G331 National Highway, with a total length of 9,301 kilometers. It is a super border landscape avenue that runs through northern China, from Altai in Xinjiang in the north to Diandang in Liaoning province in the south, spanning Xinjiang, Gansu, Inner Mongolia, Heilongjiang, Jilin, and Liaoning provinces and regions. It runs along the entire border of northern Xinjiang in China. It connects the Altai Mountains, the Zhenghe Basin, Winter Mountain, Badin-Jaran Desert, Hatao Plain, Shilingao, Grassland, Holenbeer Grassland, Shaoxing'an Mountains, Changbai Mountain, Sanjiang Plain, gather snow-capped mountains, grasslands, Gobi, deserts, 8 extreme landforms of forests, wetlands, lakes, ice and snow. It is the only way to appreciate the scenery of the northern country. The starting point of G331 is located in Altai, Xinjiang. This is the core hinterland of northern Xinjiang. Kanas Hamu village. Baihaba village lies quietly between the Altai mountains, forests and seas, and the earth tile and wooden houses are simple and quiet, surrounded by snow-capped mountains, gurgling streams, and vast forests and seas. Kanas Lake is rippling blue waves. Liang Bay is winding and beautiful, and the morning mist of Shenxian Bay is ethereal. Every scenery is pure and ethereal, hiding the most healing poetry in northern Xinjiang. Landscape. From Kanas, drive east for 100 kilometers to reach the Haba River. The birch forest stands tall and beautiful, with white branches. Spring and summer are green and fresh. Autumn and winter are golden. It is an iconic poetic landscape in northern Xinjiang. Continue for 50 kilometers to reach Birching Colorful Beach. Colored sandstone has been eroded by wind and rain for tens of millions of years, forming red, yellow, orange, the unique landform between the purple phases. When the afterglow of the setting sun falls, the light and shadow flow. It is colorful and looks like a beautiful oil painting drawn by the earth. Leaving Birking, drive east for 200 kilometers to reach Fuying Kakatuo Sea. This secret place that is burned by love songs is not only gentle landscapes, there is also the number 3, merit pit that carries the memory of the family and country. The forest and sea are gurgling, the stream is clear. The mountains are majestic, with both natural beauty and the weight of the family and country. It is a rare secret place of humanity and nature in northern Xinjiang. Sailing out of the Zhenghe Basin, bidding farewell to the Tian Shan Mountains, and arriving at the Hami-Baolikan grassland. This natural oasis located in the hinterland of the Gobi is the second largest grassland in Xinjiang. The pasture is vast. The cattle and sheep are herds. The snow-capped mountains, grasslands, the Gobi coexists in the same frame, and the scenery is unique. 500 kilometers east from Hami to Ijina Banner in Inner Mongolia. This is the most well-known poplar forest sacred place in China. In the golden autumn, the whole body of 10,000 acres of poplar is golden. Standing on the desert, tough and upright, desolate and magnificent, the desert, poplar and blue sky are intertwined, forming the most shocking autumn picture in the northwest. Once a year, it amazes countless travelers. Leaving Ijina Banner, head east along the G7 Beijing-Xinjiang expressway for 400 kilometers. Step into the Hatao Plain, nourished by the Yellow River for thousands of years. The water and soil here are abundant, and there are thousands of acres of fertile land. The products are rich, and since ancient times, it has been the granary outside the Great Wall. Stuffed in Jiangnian, it forms the ultimate with the Gobi Desert next door. The contrast shows the magical gift of the earth. Continue eastward and officially break into the hinterland of the Inner Mongolia Prairie. Xilingao Prairie, green grass to the sky, vast and boundless. It is one of the 6 most beautiful grasslands in China. It is also the birthplace of Mongolian culture. In summer, wildflowers are everywhere, green grass is green, and cattle and sheep are everywhere. The poetic picture of horses galloping and the wind blowing the grass, and seeing cattle and sheep is perfectly presented here. The area of the adjacent Yulagai grassland far exceeds Hainan province, which is the story of the wolf totem, the birthplace, the vast wilderness. It is full of original ecology, and retains the purest grassland style. After driving 300 kilometers east, the vehicle officially drove into the primeval forest area of the Daxing and mountains. The forest and sea are vast, the mountains are stacked, the ancient trees are towering, and the greenery is full. The air is fresh and full of negative oxygen ions, making it the largest natural forest oxygen bar in China. Go deep into the hinterland of the forest area and arrive at Arshang, unique volcanic landform, clear volcanic Tianchi, the warm mineral spring stream. The clouds and mist wrap around the mountains and forests, quiet, full of fairy spirit. It is a representative of the secret land of the northern forest. Walk out of Arshan and arrive at Holenbeer Prairie, one of the 4 major grasslands in the world. Holen Lake is as vast as the sea, with blue waves. The Arguna River meanders through the steppe. The green grass is boundless, and cattle and sheep are everywhere. The Felt House has been a breeding place for nomads since ancient times. It carries a 1,000-year-old grassland civilization, with vast scenery and rich humanities. Again through the Daxing Enling forest area of more than 500 kilometers. all the way north. It goes directly to the northernmost Mohe, North Pole village in China. This is the northernmost landmark of the G331 National Highway, which is freezing for thousands of miles in winter. Thousands of miles of snow. The aurora is brilliant, dreamy and beautiful. Summer is cool and quiet, and the white nights are long. It is a secret place in the northern fairy tale, in everyone's heart. Turning south from the Arctic village, out of the Daxing'an Mountains, step into the colorful Shaoxing'an Mountains. In the golden autumn, red pines, yellow birches, and green mountains. Layers of interlacing, colorful mountains. It is the most extreme and healing viewing place for autumn scenery in China. Drive out of the forest area and arrive at the fertile and vast Sanjiang Plain. In the past, the northern wilderness was desolate, and now it is rich and prosperous. 10,000 acres of rice fields are endless, and the golden autumn waves are surging. The harvest is everywhere, and the fertile fields are thousands of miles away. It is full of vitality and is an important grain base for the motherland. It shows the richness and magnificence of the Black Land. Passing through Fuyuan, it arrived at the east pole of China. This is the easternmost point of China's territory. The first ray of sunrise in the motherland is welcomed every day. Standing by the river, the view is broad. The sunrise is majestic, and the significance is extraordinary. It is a very ceremonial, self-driving landmark. Move more than 300 kilometers south. Arrived at Xingkai Lake, a Sino-Russian border lake. As the largest freshwater world in Asia, the lake is vast and boundless, and the water and sky are the same. The waves are surging, comparable to the magnificence of the sea. The lakeshore wetland is vast, with migratory birds and atmospheric scenery. Beautiful. Drive 400 kilometers south to Changbai Mountain, the first sacred mountain in northeast China. The top of the mountain is a heavenly pool, lying quietly on the top of the mountains. As a China-North Korea boundary lake and a dormant volcano, the water in the pool is clear and quiet, and it does not move all year round. 16 snow-capped peaks surround it, and the scenery is beautiful in spring, summer, autumn and winter. Holy and magnificent. Shocking. Finally, gallop south along the Yalu River for 500 kilometers, surrounded by mountains and rivers. The river view is continuous, and finally arrives at the end of the G331 National Highway, Dandong, Liaoning Province. Backed by the remnants of Changbai Mountain, facing the mouth of the Yellow Sea, the border style is strong. It has brought a successful end to the entire magnificent northern border loop. 3. G228 National Highway, 7,800 kilometers. 10,000 miles of coastline. See all the blue seas and blue skies in China. It is the only coastal landscape avenue in China that runs through the whole territory. From Dandong, Liaoning in the north to Dongxing, Guangxi in the south, spanning 14 coastal provinces and cities. It connects 44 coastal cities, connecting the Bohai Sea, the Yellow Sea, the East China Sea. The four major seas of the South China Sea connect the Bohai Rim, the Yangtze River Delta, the Pearl River Delta, the four major economic circles of the Beibul Gulf. It covers 90% of China as beautiful coastal scenery. Beaches, islands, bays, ancient cities, fishing villages, cities. The harbor is all available, and it is the ultimate route to see the Chinese coastline by car. G228 starts in Dandong and is located in the northeasternmost corner of the Chinese mainland coastline. It is separated from North Korea by the Duck River, and the Green River faces each other. The easternmost point of the Great Wall, the Tiger Mountain Great Wall, stands here, border style. The ancient charm of the Great Wall and the scenery of rivers and seas are perfectly blended and full of heritage. Drive 300 kilometers south into the Liaodong Peninsula and arrive at the romantic seaside, the famous city of Dalian. Tiger Beach is embraced by mountains and seas, and the reef is peculiar. Jinshitan is lined with strange rocks. Magnificent sea view, blue sea and blue sky, European-style architecture. It is the most representative coastal resort in the north. Turn north, enter the Bohai Bay Rim area, and arrive at the century-old port city of Yingkou. As the earliest port in northeast China, the Liao River rushes into the sea here. It has a century-old history of commerce. The rivers and seas are blended, and the humanities are thick. The adjacent Panjin has a unique red beach landscape in China. Every September, the alkali grass is red all over. 10,000 acres of red spread out on the coast, like red silk, woven by the earth, which is amazing. Continue to move forward and arrive at Jinzhou. Guarding the northern end of the Liaoxi corridor is the throat connecting northeast China and North China. The barrier of mountains and seas, the ancient charm is long. The fireworks and border gates in the market are perfectly blended, and history is perfectly blended. The adjacent Huludao has a long and beautiful coastline. The ancient city of Xincheng is simple and thick, and the Great Wall on the water of Zhulangkou is unique. Seascapes and monuments coexist. 130 kilometers south, it arrives at Shanhaiguan, the world-as first pass. Xiangguan stands between the mountains and the sea, north of Yanshan, south of the Bohai Sea. The terrain is dangerous, momentum, heroic. For thousands of years, it has been a battleground for soldiers. It is a landmark that divides the geographical boundary between North China and Northeast China. Qinhuangdao and Beidaihe, which are close to Shanhaiguan, are old summer resorts in China. The coastline of Beidaihe stretches for more than 20 miles, and the beach is delicate and soft. The sea is clear and warm, and the trees are shady. The sea breeze is cool, which is the ceiling of the northern coastal vacation. Continue south for 250 kilometers to Tianjin. The Haihe River passes through the city. The Eye of Tianjin, across the river, European-style, Western-style buildings, scattered and crowded. The market snacks are full of fireworks. Modern prosperity and century-old ancient charm are perfectly blended, with a unique Tianjin style. Travel 270 kilometers. enter the Shandong border, and arrive at Dongjing, the mouth of the Yellow River. The Yellow River flows into the sea here, and the sediment accumulates and forms land all year round. The coastline continues to extend to the sea every year. The spectacle of the intersection of yellow and blue is unique, showing the majestic power of the Mother River, sailing into the Shandong Peninsula, passing through Laizhou. Sitting on the beautiful Laizhou Bay, it is the birthplace of the legend of the 8 immortals, crossing the sea. The mountains and seas are fairy, and the scenery is beautiful. Continue for 87 kilometers to Yantai. The coastline is tortuous, the harbor is scattered, the climate is warm, and the mountains and seas are beautiful. It is a representative of the livable small town on the Jiaodong Peninsula. Yantai is more than 60 kilometers south to Weihai, which means that it will shock the sea. It faces the sea on 3 sides, and is surrounded by mountains on 1 side. The coast is beautiful, the scenery is pure, and there are rich modern coastal defense relics. The scenery of mountains and seas and the red history are combined. All the way east to the Shandong Peninsula, the easternmost point becomes a mountain. In ancient times, it was called the end of the sky, and it was the easternmost point of Chinese mainland in the cognition of the ancients. It is also the earliest excellent spot in China to watch the sunrise over the sea. The field of view is broad, and the sea and sky are the same. Bypassing the ocean and heading south for 290 kilometers to Qingdao, red tiles and green trees, the blue sea and blue sky, the mountains and seas embrace each other, and literature and art are romantic. As the world's beer city, Shandong is the economic leader and has natural scenery. The city is bustling and European style, and it is 140 kilometers along the national highway to Rizhao. It is named because the sunrise shines first, and the beach is of high quality. The sea is crystal clear. It is a well-known coastal leisure bath in China. The sunrise scenery is beautiful and healing. Drive south into the hinterland of the Yangtze River Delta, and arrive at Lianyanggan, surrounded by mountains and seas. The prototype of journey to the West Huaguo Mountain is located here, and the mountains and seas are interdependent. There are many historical sites, with both the tranquility of the mountains and forests, and the magnificence of the sea. Lianyanggang went 180 kilometers south to Yancheng, and the Yellow River was diverted, leaving vast tidal flats and wetlands. Reeds. Migratory birds gather and is an important ecological wetland reserve. In China, the original ecological coastal scenery is beautiful, and then go south for 180 kilometers. Arrive at the city of rivers and seas, Nantong, helping the Yangtze River estuary and bidding farewell to the Yellow River Basin. Embrace the banks of the Yangtze River. The river breeze and sea rime are warm and elegant. Cross Chongming Island for 180 kilometers and arrive in Shanghai. The river and the sea meet. The city is lined up, the prosperity is bright, and the lights are brilliant. Showcase the top charm of an international metropolis. Entering the boundary of Zhejiang, Hangzhou Bay, with a total length of 36 kilometers. The bridge across the sea spans the sea. The dragon lies on the waves, and the momentum is magnificent. Highlight the majesty of the infrastructure of a big country. Strengths. Travel 120 kilometers along the coast to Ningbo. The confluence of the Yangjiang River, Yaojiang River and Fanghua River is a 1,000-year-old port city. The ancient rhyme is long, bidding farewell to the plains and stepping into the southeastern hills. The coastline suddenly twists and turns. Taizhou Islands are dotted, and fishermen are strong. Wanling Shitang ancient town is surrounded by mountains and seas. The coastal fishing village is full of poetry. Wenzhou Wujiang surrounds the city. The mountains and rivers are warm, and the business culture is famous all over the world. Every place on this east coast is gentle and healing. From Wenzhou south into Fujian, the 8 mountains, the landform of 1 water and 1 field is fully displayed. The coastline is winding, and the islands and harbors are dense. Fuzhou Minjiang passes through the city, and the context is thousands of years. The Masu culture of Pushan Meizhou Island is world-renowned. As the starting point of the maritime Silk Road, Quanzhou has ancient streets and alleys, and the maritime Silk Road relics are everywhere. Xiamen Blue Sea Red House, Gulangju literature and art are fresh. Dongshan Island is sandy and clear. The sky is blue and the sea is wide. The Fujian-style coast is clean and healing, and the scenery is unique. Continue south and step into Guangdong. South Australia Island, blue sea, golden sand, beautiful scenery. Shantou and Shanwei integrate diversity and Lingnan culture. There are many islands with different styles. The Pearl River Delta is prosperous, and Zhuhai looks across the river at Macau. Port the Zhuhai Macao Bridge crosses the sea and valleys. The super project shocked the world, and the beach of Hailing Island in Yangjiang River was long and the sea view was healing. Maoming and Zhangjiang have the southernmost coastal scenery of Chinese mainland, evergreen in all seasons, warm sea breeze. Finally, it sailed into Guangxi and reached Beihai, 170 kilometers. The silver beach is delicate and long, and the volcanic landform of Weizhou Island is unique. In Sanyang Bay, Jingzhou, pink dolphins often appear, and the ecology is beautiful. Fengchanggang is dependent on the mountains and seas. And finally arrives in Dongxing, perfectly closed the loop with the G219 National Highway, successfully completed 27,000 kilometers. The National Ring Road. After walking this full 27,000 kilometers of Superloop, from the snowy region of the western border to the northern frontier, from the coast of thousands of miles to the border city of the southern country, we finally understand the vastness and magnificence of the motherland. The 3 national highways outline the most complete outline of the land of China. It covers all the mountains, rivers, lakes and seas in China, the scenery of the 4 seasons. Humanistic heritage. This is the ultimate romance, unique to Chinese. It is also the ultimate dream road that every self-driving enthusiast must take in this life. Well, that is it for today's video. If you like my video, don't forget to like and follow. I will bring you more valuable content. See you in the next issue.